Welcome to On the Clock Sports Talk, and I know it's been about um a good 2 weeks since I've done this, but that's because I've been very busy. Besides the point with work, school, everything. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about whatever I feel like at the end of the day, right? But um today Super Bowl is happening. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the NBA, about the trade deadline, and the Jazz, obviously. Big Jazz fan. and other than that, that's it. Oh, yeah. One more thing about the Winter Olympics a little bit. I just wanted to mention that you guys should go watch it. Whoever isn't, watch it. It's fun. It's very fun. I can't believe it's actually still happening with all the COVID stuff that's going on in China, but that's fun to watch. And Germany is a good team that dominates like a full sports. You know, I mean, we won so far, and I mean, it's already been a week, so I feel like it's over in like another week. um, Germany won skeleton, men's and female. We won lounge. Like, people are crazy. First of all, how can you go 180 down, or like 130, 37, whatever, down a mountain with ice, but with nothing but a helmet? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so watch the Winter Olympics if you're not. Support your favorite country or the country you come from. And yeah, other than that, the Super Bowl, obviously, Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Rams. Bengals got an upset above Kansas City, and the Rams were able to win it against a team that shouldn't have even been in the playoffs, really. Let's be honest. I don't know how they made it this far, but yeah. So Cincinnati, obviously the underdog in this game as well, since the Los Angeles Rams are so dominant with all of their positions. I mean, they're stacked. They have OBJ, they have Aaron Donald, they have Cooper Kupp, they have Matthew Stafford, who has been just balling out this season for them, in my opinion. Um, and then there's Cincinnati, who basically have like Eli Apple. I'm just kidding. Obviously, they have Joe Burrow, right? Uh, and and people say like that Joe Burrow is a better quarterback. Okay, that Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford. Yeah, it's Matthew Stafford. Him and Jared. It was a trade between him and Jared Goff. It just confuses me. Sometimes I'm like, wait, isn't it Jared Goff? Yeah. Well, Matthew Stafford. But like, if you watch the games, I know like he struggled, especially against the 49ers. He like threw a like it should have been a pick. Like that was very much thrown into the arms of the 49ers player. And he was lucky that the 49ers player um, did not catch it. But yeah, so people say that Joe Burrow is a better quarterback, and at the end of the day, it's always a quarterback that can make things happen and win you the game. But um, that will be tough for Joe Burrow against the defense of and the pressure from Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and the entire stacked defense of the Rams. So obviously the Rams should technically win it, especially since they have home field advantage at Super Bowl. Um, but I wouldn't count the Cincinnati Bengals, especially Joe Burrow out. He's fantastic, and Jamar Chase can make some magic happen as well. So it's just gonna be a fun game to watch at the end of the day, right? Um, um, so just watch the Super Bowl. I don't even know if I can get this out before the Super Bowl, but watch it. Um, and yeah, that's all I needed to say about the Super Bowl. I'm rooting for no one. I'm just gonna enjoy the game with my friends. But if I'd say who will win the game, I will say that Cincinnati Bengals will win it. And my reasoning is the Rams were able to almost blow a lead against the Buccaneers. They almost lost against the 49ers. And they played really good against the Cardinals, but um, very underwhelming at the end of the day, if you say so. Like they should have. The fact that they kept things close against every team except for basically the Cardinals, they are struggling a little bit in the playoffs. Even though they made it to the Super Bowl because they're a stacked team, and at the end of the day, they still have the power to make things happen and everything. So Cincinnati was just so far the better and bigger surprise, and were able to come back from all the bad things that Mahomes did and that Kansas City gave to them. So I will think Cincinnati will win it, but who knows? All right, so let's talk about the trade deadline. A lot of trades happened, and a lot of big ones happened, and some happened for the Jazz. But I just want to talk about the biggest ones that that are very interesting to mention. I mean, like um, let's see. So obviously there was a three-team trade after the trade with the Trailblazers and the Pelicans, where the Trailblazers gave away C.J. McCollum and got back basically Nikhil Alexander Walker in return and draft picks, right? Um, they went on to have a three-team trade with the Spurs, the Jazz, and the Portland Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers give away Nikhil Alexander Walker to the Jazz. That's what the Jazz get. Wait, here. The Spurs got Thomas Satoransky and a second round pick via Portland and Utah. Blazers get Joe Ingles. They get Elijah Hughes, and they get a second round pick. So, for everybody that doesn't know, Joe Ingles tore his ACL. He's out for the rest of the season, and even though he has wobbled the year, I always said maybe you have to trade Joe Ingles, but especially after he got injured, I can't complain about what we're getting back. We're getting back Nikhil Alexander Walker. We are getting Juancho Hernan Gomez. I don't know how if that's even the right pronunciation, but we're giving away Joe Ingles, and I know it's very sad, especially after 8 years of his career being in Utah. Um, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest, because um, his 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 presence in the locker room will obviously be missed because he's a positive guy, somebody who is very good at keeping positivity in the locker room. So that will be missed. But other than that, he can't play right now, and his contract is running out anyways this year. So I don't know what the Blazers were thinking because being honest and hope and from everything I heard is that he's just there for the recovery. And then at the end of the season, we'll just sign him back to veterans minimum to the Jazz. And then he's basically like he's never left because he's not gonna be able to play anyway. And then we're making the Blazers do all the recovery work. Now the other asset that the Blazers got is Elijah Hughes, and I'm glad that that Elijah Hughes is being traded because he didn't get any minutes. I mean, some days, yes, because Jazz are very much on bench minutes right now with everybody out. Still, sometimes. I mean, Rudy Gay is still out. Rudy Gobert is still out. Joe Ingles was out, now isn't. But like, um, Elijah Hughes played such a good game against the Toronto Raptors, where he made like 7 3 pointers, super efficient, played great defense. So that man has a lot of talent, and I hope that he gets minutes at the Blazers. Because if so, who knows how much he can actually go. But I just wish that he has a little bit of an NBA career. I just always think that it's sad that like rookies can get drafted and then literally have like zero shot to even play a minute, and then they go to the G League and there they get a couple minutes, but they never really get the chance to play and show off what they got, or like they play only one game and that's basically it because they played one terrible game as a rookie. Uh, but um, yeah, so I'm glad that that trade is through because we're getting Nikhil Alexander Walker, who I am excited about. Um, it's a good trade. It's a win for the Jazz. Definitely a B plus trade. Um, the Spurs. I mean, they get Thomas Satoransky. They get a second round pick. I don't know how to tell you or like talk about the Spurs because they're such a like they can win games against literally any team and then also lose against literally the worst team at the same time. I have the feeling they're well coached, don't have the best talents, but still find ways to win games. And Blazers are made very big moves. Uh, the trade deadline. I mean, like everybody's gone except for Damian Lillard. So I don't know if they're telling him to sign with another franchise in the off season or like letting him go or but this might be a rebuild for the Blazers. Interesting. Next, what has happened that is interesting, obviously, is that Serge Ibaka goes to the Bucks. Rockets get Dennis Schroeder. Uh, oh yeah, Mavericks send Porzingis to the Wizards. So Mavericks receive Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, and the Wizards receive Kristaps Porzingis. Now he has been struggling with Mavs and beefing with Luka Doncic basically as at the same time. Never the best fit apparently, and wasn't able to really show off what he can do. So, in my opinion, getting Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans back, somebody who can shoot lights out, and the other guy who can just score on will. That's a good deal considering that you needed scoring and Kristaps Porzingis wasn't able to do it efficiently. So the Wizards hoping he can fit in well and that he can be good again, I guess. And Mavericks just have a good deal, in my opinion, with being able to get back scores because um, that's where I think they lack the most. No, that's stupid to say because I mean, like at the end of the day, they have Luka Doncic, yes, but like when I think about all the rest of the people that they have, like Dory Finney-Smith, I think of them as more defenders. I mean, they play hard. It's just a good deal, in my opinion. I think that will work out very well for the Mavericks. Don't know if it will work out for the Wizards. I don't know what the Wizards are trying to do. Can't. And the last big one after that, the fact that Marvin Bagley plays for Detroit now, and the Pistons gave up 2 seconds, 2 second round picks, and it was a 4 team trade deal. 2 second round picks and one player that doesn't even sound like he played. I mean, who really knows who plays on the Wizards? Not Wizards, Detroit anyway. But so Marvin Bagley will be, in my opinion, a very good a fit for the Detroit Pistons, considering they're still rebuilding. Uh, it will be fun. It's a fun team to watch anyway, with Doak and everything else. And the last trade that was the biggest and craziest is the 76ers get James Harden and Paul Millsap. The Nets get Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, 2 first-round picks, and Ben Simmons. Why does this trade make so much sense? Um, because James Harden was just unhappy apparently the entire time, and I don't even know why you signed with the Brooklyn Nets if you were so unhappy, or like if you were basically already coming in with the mindset that you're going to be unhappy or injured and barely even play. Like, yes, he played, but nobody really on the Brooklyn Nets team played. Like, James Harden sat out games just as much as Kevin Durant, just as much as Kyrie Irving. So, um, they're getting rid of one person that is inconsistent and arriving at games to get back another person that doesn't show up right now. No, so Ben Simmons wanted out of Philly, obviously. He is not the best rookie of the year. He shouldn't have won it, in my opinion. Anyone who says something different is wrong because clearly he's not that good. If the 76ers are able to win games without him. Hmm? Um, and the Nets also get Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. Uh, that's just important for the Nets because their 3-star players haven't been playing consistently, and the biggest problem that they had facing that is bench depth because yeah, they have Blake Griffin, but um, they didn't really have any bench depth, and that was a problem when none of their three starters play. Who's playing? Who's gonna win the game for them? So Seth Curry and Andre Drummond will be a nice piece to add on bench depth, and Ben Simmons, if he plays, will give you nothing. A bad shooting night, maybe. No, but Ben Simmons, technically, if he plays good, should give you 15, 7, and 8 a night. Um, Being able to not necessarily space the floor, but run in to the paint and shoot it out, make some good passes, and KD and Kyrie will still be able to knock them down because they're superstars. James Harden and Joel Embiid actually sound like a dangerous combo. Mm, James Harden was unhappy with the spacing at the Nets, and something that the 76ers don't lack is spacing or shooting, in my opinion. With Joel Embiid being a big man who can shoot very well from free, they would be able to play 5 and out, and that would give James Harden the space he wants or needs or whatever. But James Harden hasn't been able to play this very well this season because foul baiting. Um, Now with the rule changed, the refs finally don't call every single foul on him, and it's fun to watch because that way you see somebody who can actually not play. I mean, he obviously has IQ and everything. That's the reason why he was always so dominant and able to win games because he was using the foul as a way out. And now, when he doesn't have a way out, he misses shots and he can't get the fouls. And that's why he hasn't been able to have such a good of a season, in my opinion. But yeah, would be interesting to see if James Harden can get right back to his older self finally this season, and let's see what Ben Simmons does. If he still is going to be a prick or not. Um, and yeah, last thing I want to mention and talk about is the AllStar Game. Um, More specific, the AllStar Game draft. LeBron James has lost all of my respect that I had for him because now it's the second year in a row that he is purposely and clearly picked whoever he wants and did not necessarily pick up on skill level. Now, you always should be able to pick your friends, right? But you don't have to go after somebody necessarily for no reason. I don't get all the hate that comes to Rudy Gobert. I don't get it. And thank you, Kevin Durant, for picking him. I mean, yes, you're a little salty about James Harden leaving, and that's the reason why you picked Rudy and you needed size, but you at least picked him and didn't wait until he was the last person. Um, and I just expected more of somebody who's considered as one of the GOATs to not be um how do you how do you say it nicely? Not be a butthead, right? Um and just go after somebody who has already gotten death threats and everything from every NBA fan because of the COVID situation that happened. And since then, he's not really recovered. from the hatred, he still gets to this day so much hate in every single comment and everything else I see, and I don't get the reason why. Yes, he made a dumb mistake, but he admitted it, he apologized, and eventually the closure of the NBA would have happened sooner or later. And the fact that he was just the first person to get COVID and still get hate for it, I don't get it. The NBA would have closed a week later or two, anyways, if he would have gotten COVID or not because of COVID. And now the unnecessary hate on the Jazz and not picking the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Should be 4. Should be. Maybe he gets the 4th one this year, you know? And to say he is not dominant in the paint is an understatement as well, because if you see or look at him, yes, he doesn't have 20 points per game, but he doesn't need to. He gets his 14 points per game, and he gets them as the most efficient player in the league. Efficiency is his second name, in my opinion. It just frustrates me that Jazz players are not respected enough in the league, that Donovan Mitchell got chosen after Darius Garland. Like, yes, you're a good player. You're not better than Donovan Mitchell. No chance. It's frustrating, and I'm sad that LeBron James has that kind of pettiness to him. Um, I hope he doesn't uh, get to be All-Star cap next year. Obviously, he's gonna still average about the same numbers, and still gonna get the captain spot because he's LeBron James. But I hope that maybe Giannis gets gets to do the other draft picking again, because I think Giannis is somebody who actually picks and is not a petty kind of player. So yeah. Um, it's sad. And the last thing, Jazz on a 5-game winning streak right now. They're playing good again. Donovan's back. They're playing better defense, especially without Rudy Gobert. Uh, that's important. They're showing actually that they can play defense now. They're showing some passion again, and it's fun to watch them play again. We beat the Golden State Warriors, and it was fun to watch. And I'm just happy with the Jazz playing good now. They should win the next game, which is against the Houston Rockets, because the Houston Rockets are at the bottom of the league, and we need wins right now, a couple at least. And the game after that against the Lakers, sure, we can lose, but maybe with Gobert back, maybe with Donovan back. Obviously, Donovan's back. Show LeBron James that you can beat him multiple times with over 30 points. And yes, I know we've lost this season against them once. But last year, I still remember the 30-point game against LeBron, where we beat him by 30. Do it again. Shush him. Nah, I'm just. But yeah, that's it. That's all I can talk about. So, thank you for watching On the Clock Sports Talk, and see you next time.